had a dream one night. And backing up a little, I used to dream every single night of the apocalypse. I used to dream about being like a soldier, like one giant zombie apocalypse over and over again. And the reason my subconscious was so tuned into that is because it's what I was watching. It's because of what I was playing with video games. So I was addicted to that too. My God, I was so addicted to escape and overstimulation because I was so unfulfilled in my own life and what I was doing, or rather what I was not doing. So I chose to seek outwardly. And I did. And I succeeded. I was very successful in that manner. And so I used to watch The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Dexter, all these things, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. It was a big adrenaline rush. But every single night I would go to sleep and I'd have those dreams, and I would daydream about like society being ended the way that it is, and freedom and all this stuff. And so I went to bed one night, and it was an apocalypse, but it was a different kind of apocalypse than usual. There were all these people running around a big town, and it's like they were zombies, but they weren't, because all of their heads were television sets. They were big flat screens, or like big regular bulky screens. I don't remember fully. And so they were running around, and it was chaotic, and everybody was running from them, running around them like, what do we do? Like the apocalypse of the television heads. I don't know, it's my subconscious, guys. So I'm looking at all of them, and I am freaking out. I'm panicking. But then I run up to one of them, and I just turn the power off button on the top right-hand side of the television set, and it goes off, and I have the realization, all we have to do is turn them off. All we have to do is turn them off. And so I started running up to every single one of them and just poof, 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 like my weapon was me compassionately turning off the TVs, like, no, not anymore, no, not anymore, no, not anymore. And it's a pattern. It was a pattern in my life because I was such the escapist, right? I mean, I was addicted to food, classic addiction to food, classic binge eater. I would never, ever, ever stop eating. It was, I needed fulfillment somehow. I needed difference. I needed the quick fix. I needed the high. I needed the intensity because my life was so habituated. I wasn't doing things differently. I wasn't growing. I wasn't stretching my limitations, or my supposed limitations, right? Like what I was viewing to be limitations. I wasn't stretching them. I wasn't doing all the things I needed to be doing. And inside I had a world telling me, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But I chose television. I chose getting high. I chose getting drunk. I chose just complaining to my friends, being so addicted to that, being so addicted to the victimhood in it, because I didn't, even though I wanted change, I didn't actually want to do any of the steps that makes the change happen. I didn't want to get the ball rolling. I didn't want to put in that effort because it's scary, right? It's so scary doing something different. It's so scary finding the thrill for life. Because the thrill for life, rather than the thrill for a video game, or the thrill for a high, or the thrill for food, if it's a thrill for your own life, it means you have to take a step in a different direction. Otherwise, it's not a thrill. And if you have to take a step in a different direction, it's a risk, isn't it? And if it's a risk, it threatens your safety, doesn't it? And if it threatens your safety, we better just stay the same and stay put and stay shut and stay silent, stay quiet, stay alone, stay all of the things that we've always been, to protect ourselves, because this is what we've learned growing up. This is what we've learned through our experience, through those seeds that were planted, that we chose to freaking water every single day, that we chose to become, that we chose to grow, to blossom, to flourish, to love that addictive tendency. And we did it so well. We were so successful. I was so successful. My God, I was the most successful at my field. Successful escapist. I was number one. I'll tell you that. I was number one. And it wasn't until I was falling on my knees, depressed as hell, and saying, I refuse to let this close my heart. It wasn't until I had my darkest moments of my life, until I decided that it was enough and it was time for change. But that isn't necessary. We think that change can only occur when we're down at the bottom. We're at the bottom of all the bullshit of our life and we're fighting to get out because we're so depressed. And while those moments can inspire great change, and hopefully they do because that's what they're there for, sometimes you can just do it because you just want it bad enough. But if we're taking all our attention and all of our energy and placing it outside of ourselves, to the media, to Facebook, to video games, to food, to weed, to alcohol, to all of these things, we completely close ourselves off from the possibility because we're not even here enough in our bodies and our energy and our field and our self enough to become aware of a vision of the future that we want to inhabit within ourselves. How can we even be aware if we're not even there in the first place? So the first step is really just self-awareness, a desire that's bigger than your desire to do the basic bullshit that you've been used to doing, that you're so habituated in. But it takes a little bit of risk because it takes a little bit of doing something different. It takes a little bit of taking yourself out of your comfort zone. It takes a little bit of steps. It takes a little bit of faith. It takes a little bit of heart. It takes a little bit of trust in something you haven't experienced before. And so some people won't get there until they're on their knees and have no choice but to look there because they're desperate and they've played it all out. They've lived the life they've been living since 10, 20, 35, whatever, however long years, and that's all that they know, and it's too scary. But so for people like that, or people like us in general, sometimes the bottom is great. It can give us wings. But the choice is in our everyday moment to moment existence, because every single moment is a moment that's alive for transcendence. Every single moment is a moment that is alive for transcendence, because that's what we're here. We're here to transcend, but we can't do it if we're muted. We can't do it if we're not here to participate in the experience. We surely can't do it if our energy is on the television. We surely can't do it if it's on the media. We surely can't do it if it's on all the stressful situations within our life and within ourselves, because then we're not even present enough to actually do anything. So we have to be present first. We have to be here first. We have to choose here first, even if it's painful or even if it's not painful. But we have to make the choice. And we do it every single moment by choosing to live in fear or choosing to live in love and trust in something greater. So if you want to get there, it might be smart to lay off some of the television, lay off some of the video games, lay off some of the food, all of the things that you do to make your life feel a little bit more fulfilling, because you haven't fulfilled yourself in the ways that you want to fulfill yourself. And you're not alone. We're all doing it. We're all doing it in some way or the other. We have these little things that distract us from what we really want to do here. But if we want to do what we really want to do here, then we have to be here and we have to choose here. And today I choose here. And I hope you choose alongside me here as well for your journey. So thank you guys for tuning in. That's just my thoughts of the day. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.